Yo, what's good, boxing heads and fight fans around the world? B Marsh with another boxing video. So, man, the man Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley is finally retiring, you know what I mean? The man is finally retiring. How old is Shane Mosley, man? Shane Mosley's not no spring chicken, man. The man Shane Mosley, man, I'd probably say the man Shane Mosley's maybe like 45 years old, you know what I mean? The man Shane Mosley is not no spring chicken. You check it. He's about 45 years old. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Shane Mosley is a guy who's had a terrific, wonderful career, in my opinion. Lots of highs, lots of lows. But unlike other fighters, them fellas came back from lows. You know what I mean? From low moments in boxing, and went back to the pinnacle. And Shane Mosley, in my opinion, had a great career, man. Yeah, he lost to some people, but he also beat some people, you know what I mean? So his career is very well rounded, in my opinion. The man Shane Mosley was a guy who could punch like a motherfucker, in my opinion. The man hits hard like a mule. And the thing about Shane Mosley is the man punches right from, his leverage comes all the way from basically from his feet, you know what I mean? The man is always centered and ready to throw bombs, power shots. And he could take a shot like shit too, man. Shane Mosley had a chin, you know what I mean? That's one thing we cannot deny about the great Shane Mosley. The man had a chin. He could take a punch as well as he could dish it, you know? Shane Mosley, I remember when this guy was number one pound for pound on the planet at one point in time, you know what I mean? This guy was a lightweight king. I think his first world title was against the South African. I think he was South African, based in Australia, though. A man named Philip Holiday, you know what I mean? You check it. That's the guy that Shane Mosley got his first world title from. That was like in '97. You know what I'm saying? He fought fellas like John Molina at lightweight. Knocked him out, stopped him. He fought fellas like Jesse James Leija. The San Antonio, Texas guy, who fought Azuma Nelson like 4 times. You know what I mean? You check it. So those the type of guys he fought at lightweight, basically building himself on the pound for pound rankings and on his way up, you know what I'm saying? The man Shane Mosley, man, this guy's a great fighter, in my opinion. I was a fan of Shane Mosley, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, I was a fan of Shane Mosley. When Shane Mosley fought Floyd Mayweather, I was rooting for Shane, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was rooting for the OG, the older guy. That's just usually how I do, man. Usually root for the older guys who probably his last days are around the corner, you know what I mean? But, the man Shane Mosley, I remember he stepped up to beat Oscar De La Hoya at 147. He jumped all the way from 135, and he went for a world title at 147, and he beat Oscar De La Hoya for a lineal title and the WBC belt, you know what I mean? And at that point, that was the biggest win of his career. It was a close fight in my opinion, but I thought he won it, you know what I mean? I thought Shane Mosley won. Although some people did have De La Hoya winning, you know what I'm saying? Split decision thing, you know what I mean? Shane Mosley went on to defend his title, number one pound for pound on the planet, till he ran into the guy from Atlanta, Georgia, a nemesis and foe from the amateurs. And that's Vernon Forrest, you know what I mean? Vernon Forrest, man, he dropped him in the first round, the second round, and it was just a whole different fight for Shane. Shane couldn't deal with the man Shane Mosley, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest was pumping that jab, sticking that right hand down the pipe, and he was just straight battering him, you know what I mean? And he won the fight easily, unanimous decision. So Shane Mosley lost his WBC and the lineal, and also a Ring magazine title was on the line, you know what I'm saying? Shane lost to Vernon in the rematch, you know what I mean? You check it. And he just couldn't deal with them. So at this time, he has no titles, But what does he do in a couple fights after that? He goes up to challenge his old nemesis and foe from the Los Angeles area, De La Hoya, you know what I'm saying? He challenges De La Hoya, and he beats De La Hoya, you know what I mean? But at this time, this fight with De La Hoya is at 154, you know what I mean? You check it. It's at 154 pounds. And The man De La Hoya, man. De La Hoya was a good fighter too, man. But Shane Mosley had his number, same way. Vernon Forrest had Sugar Shane's number. You know what I mean? So the man went up. Shane Mosley went up to beat the man De La Hoya for the WB for what was it? For the WBA and WBC for 2 titles. You know what I mean? You check it, and the lineal title. You know, so that was a big win for Shane. You know what I mean? Some people also still had De La Hoya winning that fight too. I had Shane Mosley winning both fights, man. But the first one, even the second one, you could say they a little controversial, man. But I thought Shane Mosley edged it out because he won the championship rounds. You know what I mean? You check it. Then what does Shane Mosley go do? He goes on to try to become undisputed. You know what I mean? When he faces what's his name, Winky Wright. You know what I'm saying? He goes out to face Winky Wright. But Winky Wright beats him, you know what I mean? Winky Wright brings the IBF junior middleweight strap to the table. The man Shane Mosley brings the WBA, WBC, the ring, and the lineal title. And he gets beat, you know what I mean? And the man Winky Wright beats him again. And the second fight, a split decision. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, in between at this particular time, like around 2004, if Shane Mosley had beat the man Winky Wright, then he was probably going to get a fight with the man Felix Trinidad. But as we all know, Felix Trinidad got the fight with Winky Wright, you know what I mean? Because Shane Mosley lost to Winky Wright. And no shame in this game, he lost to one of the better 154-pounders of the era, you know what I mean? The man Winky Wright is one of the best, probably one of the best ever at 154. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Then the man Shane Mosley had his rivalry again with another guy from California, but from Oxnard, California. And that's Fernando Vargas, you know what I mean? And he beat the shit out of Fernando Vargas. Made that man's eye swell. Damn near had a hematoma. And he just stopped him easily, man. He stopped him in both fights. They had 2 fights, you know what I mean? No titles was on the line, but great fights. Actually, here goes the film of the first fight with Shane Mosley and Fernando Vargas, you know what I mean? You check it, then, you know, and these was at 154. Shane Mosley comes down and he beats fellas like Luis Collazo. You know what I'm saying? And Luis Collazo's a hot commodity at that time, you know what I mean? And Shane Mosley took care of business. Easy work. And Shane also had a fight with the man Miguel Cotto. That was a fight right there which was a little controversial because they gave Miguel Cotto a unanimous decision. I had that fight a draw, man. You know what I'm saying? I thought Shane Mosley did enough to even be consider having this fight a draw, and I had it a draw, 114-114. You know what I mean? Mosley takes that UD loss to Cotto, although I thought it was a draw. Then he goes on to fight Mayorga, and it's a classic fight, and he knocks Mayorga out in the 12th round. You know what I mean? Nice classic fight, man, versus Mayorga. You check it, and then Shane Mosley goes up there to get his biggest win of his career, in my opinion, when he faces Antonio Margarito. And he beat Margarito for the WBA title at 147 and also a lineal title, you know what I mean? You check it. That was a vacant lineal title on the line, you know? You know what I'm saying? He beats that man. He knocks him out, I think, in the 9th or the 10th round. He stops him. He drops him like twice, man. Shane Mosley had stupid power, man. Don't sleep on this guy. Shane Mosley, in my opinion, wasn't really a boxer puncher. I would more consider this guy like a swarmer, you know what I mean? A guy cut from that Henry Armstrong cloth, you know what I mean? That's the type of style I thought the man Shane Mosley came to fight, you know, because in my opinion, he wasn't really a boxer, man. He was a guy who likes to fight, you know what I mean? But, you know, would I call him a brawler? I'd more call him a swarmer, you know what I mean? Swarmer, brawler, same thing, you check it? You know what I mean? Shane Mosley goes up to fight the man Floyd Mayweather. You know, after Shane Mosley and Bernard Hopkins ran up on Floyd after Floyd came back from retirement and beat Juan Manuel Marquez. You know what I'm saying? And they bombarded the man Floyd and forced Floyd to take that fight. You see Floyd Mayweather in the locker room after that, complaining to what's his name? He was complaining to Al Heyman, like, man, these fellas, man, disrespecting me, man. They just ran up on me like that, you know what I mean? You check it, Max Kellerman had to stop the fellas from running up on Little Floyd. But B-Hop and Mosley wanted that fight and they got it, you know what I mean? Remember them times, the man Shane Mosley was a part owner of Golden Boy too, you know what I mean? But I think he bought himself out. You check it. And the man Shane Mosley hurt Floyd in that fight better than I've ever seen anybody hurt Floyd in my life, man. That round 2 is classic. There's just times I just go back and watch round 2 just for the fuck of it. Floyd versus Shane. And, you know, I don't even watch the whole fight because after that it was a wash. Shane Mosley got his ass handed to him by Floyd. Easy work, but round 2 was epic. You know what I'm saying? Then the man went on to lose to fellas like Sergio Mora. I thought that was bad, you know what I mean? Or was it a draw? I think it was a draw. I was disappointed in Shane, but at that point in time, that's when you could tell Shane, Shane is probably getting up there in age, you know what I mean? Because when he fought fellas like Margarito, them fellas was about like 37. When he fought fellas like Mayorga, he was like 36, 37. So he was an older guy when he fought Floyd, you know what I mean? But that ain't Floyd's fault because Floyd had been wanted Shane Mosley from when Shane was in the lightweight divisions, and Shane didn't fight him, you know what I mean? Some say that Shane Mosley was actually was ducking fellas like Floyd Mayweather at lightweight because Floyd was on his way up to come and was chasing him. And also Shane Mosley, some say, was ducking fellas like Kostya Tszyu. That's why he ain't fight at 140 and tried, fight the champions at 140, and he went up to fight De La Hoya. But man, he wanted that payday and he got it, man, and he beat up De La Hoya. But I'd like to see him fight Floyd probably in the early 2000s, and also Kostya Tszyu, you know what I mean? You check it, you know what I mean? Then them fellas, Shane fought fellas like Manny Pacquiao. That was a good fight, yeah, for Pacquiao. Pacquiao beat the shit out of him, dropped him too. But they were a little too friendly in these guys kept tapping gloves like Shane Mosley was shot at them times, you know what I'm saying? Then the man Shane fought Cannoli. That's when I knew Shane is done. He was gunshot, couldn't pull the trigger, man. He just was slow with his punches, and Cannoli beat him UD, you know what I mean? And that was for, when he fought Pacquiao, he was challenging for the WBO middleweight, welterweight belt. Then he went up to Cannoli's 154 to challenge him for the WBC 147, you know what I mean? And by the way, when he fought Floyd, that fight was also for the lineal title. No sanctioning body belt was on the line, just the lineal title. And that's how Floyd got the lineal title at 147 on his second comeback. The one he defended all the way till he beat fellas like Berto, you know what I mean? You check it, Floyd, the man Shane Mosley even fought fellas like Anthony Mundine, went out to Australia and beat him up. No, I lied. Them fellas got beat up by the man Mundine, you know what I'm saying? The man Mundine retired the man. Man, Mosley, I remember that fight. He was talking about his back. He couldn't get off the stool, you know what I'm saying? Then the man Shane Mosley had a rematch with Mayorga. He beat him up 6 rounds. I think that was a pay-per-view. Older guys, you know what I mean? Mayorga slapped Shane Mosley's girl's ass. They was trying to sell the fight. Nobody was buying that shit. And then, the last time I seen the man, Shane Mosley in the ring, he fought that dude, that David Arvidisian guy, whatever his name is, the dude that Shane Mosley, Lamont Peterson beat for the WBA regular 147-pound title, you know what I mean? So all in all, Shane Mosley had a great career. I can only talk about him in high regard, Some will say, damn, you ain't even give the man Tim Bradley a nice tribute and a farewell. Well, this man Shane Mosley's 45 and he's just retiring. Fellas like Tim Bradley's 34 and them fellas retired. And, like I say, if the man Tim Bradley's going to the Hall of Fame, you better damn well put this guy Shane Mosley in the Hall of Fame, you know what I mean? Shane Mosley has some losses on his career, which he should have probably won, you know what I mean? Like that fight versus Cotto, I thought he won that fight, you know what I'm saying? He got them victories versus De La Hoya, he lost to fellas like Winky Wright, but he beat Margarito, you know what I'm saying? The man Shane Mosley was a good fighter, had a great career. He lost to some of the best fighters of his era, you know what I'm saying? So, no shame in his game, man, but put this guy in Canastota, New York. 2022, man, there's going to be a lot, man, that's going to be one of the best Hall of Fames ever, man. Considering all the people who have retired, in 2017 from Juan Manuel Marquez, Hall of Famer. Vladimir Klitschko, Hall of Famer. Timothy Bradley, borderline in my opinion, but he might get in, you know what I mean, straight off his work at 140. And the man has only 2 losses, and those losses were to Pacquiao, you know. He's getting in the Hall of Fame, you know what I'm saying? Who else retired? The Ghost, the Ghost ain't getting in the Hall of Fame, sorry. Uchiyama and Miura, these guys ain't getting in the Hall of Fame. But, you know, as far as Klitschko, Bradley, Dynamita, Juan Manuel Marquez, and Shane Mosley, I think 2022, man, is going to be one of the best Hall of Fame ceremonies we shall ever see, man, because these guys were guys from the era of boxing I used to love, man, the 90s and the 2000s, you know what I mean? Be Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know what's your favorite Shane Mosley fight. Let me tell y'all my favorite Shane Mosley fight. It's the Margarito fight, man. That's my favorite, man. Look what he did to this guy right here. You know, this was an older Shane too, you know what I mean? These were the guys who discovered that this guy cheats. Boom! One. That's the last one. That was the last hook. These were the first guys to discover that this guy's a cheat, you know what I mean? So, you know, with that being said, Shane Mosley had a great career. Oh yeah, he was supposed to fight Zab Judah too at one point in time, you know what I mean? But somebody got injured. I think, was it Shane or Zab? I can't quite remember, but they were supposed to fight. That fight never happened. That would have been a great fight because those two guys had taken losses in their career. And, you know, even if they had taken losses, you know, they were still you know, guys who were still building a Hall of Fame career at that point in time, you know what I mean? So, you know, I think also them fights he had with Mayorga, I'm sorry, this guy, Vargas, man. He beat the shit out of Vargas, man. You know, I like what he did to Vargas in them fights. You know, the fights with Vernon Forrest are also classic too, man, because nobody expected that, man, especially the first fight, you know. But then again, a guy like Mayorga had Vernon Forrest number, you know what I'm saying? So the triangle theory doesn't always work, you know. Mayorga had Vernon Forrest's number. Vernon Forrest had Shane Mosley's number. Fucking Shane Mosley beat Mayorga easily twice. Be Marsh Boxer, leave your thoughts and comments, and please let me know what's your favorite Shane Mosley memory and his favorite Shane Mosley fight. My favorite memory of Shane Mosley probably is round 2 of that Floyd Mayweather versus Floyd Mayweather. That round was epic. Be Marsh Boxing, thanks for listening, and I'm out. Farewell and tribute to Shane Mosley retirement. Peace.